Burris was a man of immense potential. Charisma radiated from him like heat off the Mogadishu streets. He was not a handsome man. His features were sharp, his teeth uneven, his frame wiry. But none of that mattered. When Burris spoke, people listened. He could talk his way into any deal, charm any merchant, and negotiate prices that left others in awe. He had friends in every corner of the city. He could make things happen that others thought impossible. Yet, he never made it big. Burris lived simply. He never bought what he didn't need and never indulged in luxuries. His skill in negotiating wasn't just about haggling, it was a way of life. He roamed the markets looking for forgotten treasures, discarded electronics, furniture left behind by tenants, and broken appliances, gathering dust in second-hand shops. He had deals with landlords across the city. Whatever junk tenants left behind, Burris would take it for a price so low it was practically free. He hauled these castaways on his slow-moving vehicle, a battered old truck that crawled across the dry roads at a painful 10 kilometers per hour. It took him a week to reach another city, where a legendary group of handymen lived, men who could fix anything. Burris struck a deal with them. He paid for their work up front, and they got a cut when the items sold. These craftsmen took their time, ensuring everything Burris brought them was repaired to last. With all his side hustles, Burris was sitting on a small fortune. He could have started a real business, expanded, and built something lasting. But he never did, because Burris had one fatal flaw. Burris loved wasting people's time. Not in the usual way, not through laziness or indecision, but deliberately, with surgical precision. He orchestrated inconvenience like a grand artist, finding joy in the quiet suffering of others. It wasn't cruelty in the traditional sense. He never harmed, never stole, never raised his voice. But he did something worse. He drained hope, one wasted hour at a time. Say a man sought his help in acquiring a rare and valuable item, a golden pocket watch said to have belonged to a sultan, a set of vintage maps from a lost Somali kingdom. Burris would lean in, eyes twinkling, and promise he knew just the right collector. He would spin tales of secret transactions, of whispered names in candlelit rooms. He would invite the man to meet him at a certain tea house, a place just secluded enough to give the meeting weight. The man would arrive, expectant, nervous, and Burris? He would be nowhere to be found. His phone would be silent, his whereabouts unknown. The man would sit, waiting, scanning faces, watching the tea in his cup grow cold. Then, just when he had given up, just when he was about to leave, his phone would ring. "I'm on my way," Burris would say, his voice smooth, reassuring. "Stay there, just a little longer." An hour would pass, then another, and still, Burris would not come. When the man finally left, cursing under his breath, Burris would sit in a nearby cafe, watching, savoring the slow unraveling of expectation. He took no money, he gained nothing, but the sight of deflation, of patience eroding into frustration, of eagerness twisting into regret. That was his reward. It was not power, it was not greed, it was something deeper, stranger, a compulsion he himself did not fully understand. And like all addictions, it would lead to his downfall, until one day he picked the wrong man. A wealthy foreign investor had arrived in Mogadishu. He was building businesses, forging partnerships, and changing lives. And somehow, he found his way to Burris. "I hear you're the man who can make things happen," the foreigner said. Burris saw an opportunity. He could negotiate deals, connect him to the right people. He could finally rise above his hustles. But the old habit returned. The investor needed urgent paperwork handled. Burris promised it would be done immediately. He delayed. The investor needed a crucial meeting arranged. Burris stalled. Every time something was pressing, Burris played his game, until the investor walked away. Burris had been on the edge of something real, a true partnership, wealth beyond his imagination, and he lost it because he couldn't resist the urge to waste time. As he watched the foreigner leave the country, Burris felt something he had never felt before. He had tricked himself. But that, my friend, is a lesson learned too late.